good everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. It's your girl Miss Sydz and I'm back with another video. So today, as you can see by the title, I'm going to be showing you guys my favorite foundations or my most used foundations in this year. Not necessarily all these foundations will launch in 2020, but I just want to show you guys the foundations that I've been loving pretty much as of recent, if not throughout the whole year. If you are new, I don't personally always like to go ahead with a full coverage foundation. I pretty much wear what I feel like, so it could be medium full, it can even be light or skin tint. If I have done any sort of separate videos such as like first impressions or reviews, I will link them in the description box. If I run out of space, I will link them in the cards as well. So I'll get you back. As I'm just getting my foundations ready, please excuse the way I sound. I am a little bit bunged up at the moment. My eyes are watering. I'm just a little bit sensitive. So this is like makeup I have worn already in a previous video, doing bulk filming out here. So just excuse how I look because I might not be on 10, sis, but it's okay. The foundation I'm gonna mention, which funny enough, it took me a bit of a while to get this, but I absolutely love this foundation. And it's the Fenty Beauty Pro Filtr Hydrating Longwear foundation. Again, I have normal to dry combination skin, so I do tend to gravitate towards like dewy and hydrating formulas. And as you can see, like it's so skinny at the top because I was going through this like no tomorrow. And the shade that I have is 445. I do like a bit of a golden undertone. Sometimes I do like warm undertone foundations. Nothing too red. It does have a bit of a smell, but nothing too overwhelming. But it's got a beautiful formula. Coverage is medium to full, just flawless, and it does actually make your skin just look full filtered. So I really like this foundation. I think it's about £25, so that's why sometimes I have to bring my energy back to a 2, because listen, once this runs out, I'm gonna repurchase, but I want to hold on to it as long as possible. So the next one that I have, which is literally one of my absolute favorites, and it's not going to be no surprise to you guys, but it's the Nars Natural Radiant Longwear foundation in the shade New Caledonia, and I am obsessed. When this came out, I was just like, thank you Nars, like this is beautiful. Love the coverage. Once again, it's got more of like a yellow undertone, so very similar to Fenty one, but this is a little bit more yellow. Not too sure if you guys can see that there. However, saying that, they did recently come up with the soft matte foundation. I also got in the same shade, and I must say this formula is beautiful. Call me crazy, but I feel like this formula has more of a, not a thicker consistency, but it's a little bit more fuller in comparison to the natural one. But it is natural longwear and this is soft matte, so give or take. But if you are oily combination skin, you will love it. I've seen a lot of people who are oily combination skin love this foundation. If you are normal dry like myself, you will have to literally up your hydration game. Moisturizers, primers, setting sprays, you name it. Technically, I actually do really like this foundation, but I love this one more if I have to pick between the two. So the next foundation, I don't really tend to wear it a lot on camera, but it is pretty much one of my favorites one as well, and it's the L'Oreal Infallible 24-hour Freshware. Now L'Oreal has come out with a lot of Infallible complexion products, but I feel like this one is my favorite one. I just like the coverage. It makes my skin look like skin, and it does give you this nice sort of fresh, light, somewhat radiant sort of finish to the skin. Beautiful coverage as well. The shade that I have in this one is 375 Deep Amber. So you can see with this one, that's the Nars one, the New Caledonia. I cannot pronounce that word to save my life. And that's the L'Oreal Freshware one. So in terms of the shade, I actually really like the shade. This is my favorite foundation shade. I feel it matches my skin tone better, because if you guys see me, well, you guys would definitely see me without makeup anyway, but I have a lot of hyperpigmentation around my cheek area, and then the center of my face is more like this skin color, but that one just corrects my whole entire face perfectly. The next foundation I'm going to mention is the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. Now this is the original one, so they did come up with a matte formula. So again, if you are oily combination skin, the matte one will probably suit you a little bit better than this one, but I personally like to use this one because it's just got a perfect amount of matte to it, but not overly matte. So even when I tweak my skin routine or my primers and my setting spray, I found this one a little bit more wearable than the 24-hour one. And this is in the shade Spice Rum. It does claim to have a rosy undertone, which the undertone, girl, is nice. Now, I'm not gonna lie, when I first originally applied this on my face, I always feel like it looks a bit too light. This foundation is probably one of the ones that oxidize on me, so after when it dries, it matches me better. But I really do love the formula. Again, medium coverage, medium to full coverage, to be fair. So even when I swatch at the back of my hand, you could tell that that is lighter compared to the other foundations that I swatched. This is a little bit more mattifying in comparison to like my dewy and my hydrating foundations, but I do feel like this one is more wearable than the new one. So moving on, this foundation from Oma Beauty, I don't know what she's done. I don't know what she's done to this foundation, but the formula is beautiful. It does claim to have a soft matte, but then it's hydrating, because everyone can be different when they're also normal to dry, if that makes sense. But if you're someone like me, this is gonna be like the perfect combo. It has like this really nice hydrating finish, especially once you set your foundation, you wear it for a couple of hours, you can see like your natural oils peek through and your skin is breathing and it looks like skin, but then it has like this sort of matte consistency to it. This shade is Brown Sugar T4N. N stands for neutral, but it does actually come up quite warm. So it took me a while to get this foundation because I felt like I didn't know what shade to get, I didn't know what undertone to get, and they only have warm, neutral, and then cool tones. But for a neutral foundation, you could probably see it, it is actually quite warm. Once it dries out, it doesn't look red or orange or anything like that. It actually, I don't know, it customizes and adjusts to my shade and my undertone. It's so weird, but it's got a really nice velvet texture. Just love it. So I went for a whole face when I was just wearing that non-stop, so that was another foundation I had to give it a little break. So my next foundation is one of my drugstore foundations, or affordable foundation, and I went for a phase that I was using this all the damn time, and I think I actually featured in one of my full face of favorite makeups, and it is the one and only NYX Born to Glow foundation. This is in the shade Cocoa, and it's a natural, again, a natural radiant foundation. Love it, okay? Just love the way it just makes my skin looks, and for something for about £10, it literally does my skin wonders. So once again, that's the shade Cocoa. Very beautiful. Just it's just such an amazing affordable foundation. If you are, again, oily combination, I think you would really like the Can't Stop Won't Stop foundation. This is not really my fave because it is quite matte, and I don't know, for some reason for this matte formula, it's really matte, you know. I actually picked this foundation first when it first came out, and then I went for the Born to Glow afterwards. So this shade is actually in the shade Deep Rich, which is okay-ish. That's the Can't Stop Won't Stop, and that's the Born to Glow. So yeah, they look similar, but I just prefer the undertone in Cocoa. Okay, so speaking of a matte foundation, this one from Juvia's Place, Sydz. This is a beautiful matte foundation for me anyway. I did use quite a lot of it. Once again, the I Am Magic Velvety matte foundation, and I have the shade 210 Togo. I can't remember the actual claims of the undertone in this foundation on the website, but it just comes out quite neutral on me, which, you know, I'm not mad, but this is thick, girl, okay? Even just squeezing it out, you will feel the thickums, okay? Got the velvety texture. She reminds me a lot of the Oma Beauty one, but this one is just a little bit thicker, and as you can see, the undertone looks a bit more neutral, which I am not mad, to be fair. I'm actually quite workable with different undertones. The only ones that I do not like on my skin shade or to match my undertone is cool tones. I do not like a cool undertone foundation. So one of the new foundations that came out this year alongside with a whole new sub outlet from Revolution is the XX Revolution, and these products or makeup products in general are meant to be makeup but then also skincare infused. So this is a little bit pricier. She does have a bit of weight. She's more luxe, not gonna lie. This one is a undercover killer bird, okay? I think she's definitely got more of a pigment in comparison to the Conceal and Define. So if you are a full coverage type of gal, you will like them. Now the only thing is with these foundations, there's another one which I do have. One of them is illuminating and another one is just, I can't remember. But the only annoying thing about these foundations is that they don't actually have it labeled what type of foundation it is. I have the shade F16, which is pretty much the same foundation shades that I get in all my foundations from Revolution, and F16 usually claims to have a warm undertone, so this is technically FX16 because, you know, XX Revolution, yeah. So you could probably tell in comparison to the other ones that I swatched for you guys, this one does have more of a warmer undertone, and she also feels thick as well when swatching it. All right, XX Revolution. She is a bit pricier, so I think the Conceal and Define ones are more on like an £8 to £9.99 range, where this one is £15. So pricier, but I personally think it's worth it. I don't think it's too expensive, but it's just expensive for Revolution, if that makes sense. So as much as I always say, oh, matte foundations are not for me, this, look at her. She's so dirty. I can't even get her good looking anymore. Like, but this is the Maybelline Super Stay Full Coverage 24-Hour Foundation. I have the shade, boy, I don't even know now because everything will rub off, but I believe it's the shade Cocoa. This is one of my favorites, if not the favorite matte foundation that I love. I don't know what they've done to this one, okay? I don't know why she is so good as a matte formula for me, but she just never makes me feel dry. She doesn't make me feel dry. She doesn't make me look dry. Just, I don't know what they've done, but it's just a really nice formula. That is the shade Cocoa. So it does once again look a little bit light, but I do feel like after when this dries out on me, it does oxidize only a little bit. It doesn't majorly oxidize in comparison to the Too Faced Born This Way, on me anyway. Where the consistency is quite thin, she doesn't make my face feel cakey, and that's what I experience quite a lot with full coverage matte foundations. They make me feel really cakey and dry, but she just doesn't do that to me. I don't know what's in that girl, but she don't do that to me, sis. Another new foundation that came out in the market in 2020 is the Huda Beauty Faux Filtr Foundation Stick. Ooh, child, this one, she's a banger. Oh, my feet, oh, the cramp, oh, lad. Oh, God. She's me. She's a little bit of me. She's all me. Like, she just gives you this natural, your skin look better look. Faux filter, smooth, beautiful. It has more of like a radiant glow to the skin, which funny enough, it doesn't actually specify on the website what type of finishes it's meant to provide you. But to me, it comes across more of like a natural radiant finish once again, which I'm definitely not complaining. She melts into the skin. It's also buildable as well. It doesn't have a scent, which is like, thank goodness, because I know some people might like the scents, but I just don't feel like it's really necessary. But it doesn't have a scent. This is a shade 52G Nutmeg. G stands for golden, and I personally feel like this has the perfect undertone. Like, this matches me so well. The only problem we have with this foundation here, she is teeth no bamba. Me not understand where I go with £33. Is it favorite? £33 for this little sitting here, and you don't even get a lot of product. So when this is finished, it's really gonna hurt my heart. But if you are a liquid type of gal and you want a little bit more full coverage, then the original Faux Filtr one is gonna be your best bet. I had to repurchase this again because I actually really like this, even though the smell does sometimes annoy me. Now this one actually comes up a little bit more golden. I don't know if it's because it's a liquid formula, so sometimes, you know, the tones and the undertones can be a little bit different, but you will see huge I say huge, but you would see a difference that this one comes up a little bit more golden in comparison to that one. So that's why I feel like the foundation stick, shade and undertone melts into my skin and just matches me better. So we've got 3 more to go and then we're done. This one was also a late addition to my collection, and it is the e.l.f. Flawless Finish Foundation. This was only about like £7 or £7.50. I got the shade Chocolate, and to be honest, I'm probably gonna get another shade. I know one of you guys recommend the shade darker than this one, but I think it's got more of a neutral golden undertone. I can't remember, but I'm definitely gonna look into it. So this is a shade Chocolate. She's messy. This one comes up quite rosy on me, so it's okay. It actually looks better once it dries down. So when it's wet, it looks really rosy, and once it dries, it neutralizes my skin tone and it doesn't look as bad. It is a matte foundation, but it's not a uncomfortable matte, so I actually do like this foundation, but I think I would like it even more if I just get my right shade. The last 2 foundations are both from Revolution, and they're both skin tints, or CC cream skin tint type of vibe, you know, but this one is the super dewy one, and it was launched this year with like a super dewy like collection. This is a shade Mocha. I'm not gonna lie to you, the shade range in this line are terrible. I don't know what Revolution was thinking. This is what it pretty much looks like. It's actually quite big in comparison to the other one I'm gonna show you. I think it was between like £10 to £12. It looks very pigmented when you apply it. So when you first apply it on your skin, you're thinking, okay, coverage, this is nice and whatever. But then once you wear it throughout the day, it like dissolves into your skin, and then it just looks like your skin has just a little bit of skin tint on it. That's the only way I can really explain it. I personally don't really wear makeup during the day. I don't really wear makeup on a regular basis, believe it or not, but I do like to use it on the days that when I wear it to work. For example, if I'm having like big clients in the office or anything like that, and I kind of have to look a little bit decent. If you're definitely a type of person that you don't like foundations or any sort of like heavy coverage or anything like that, this is something that you probably would like, especially when you just want to introduce your skin of having something on your skin, if that makes sense. Last one to mention in this video is the Revolution CC Perfecting Foundation Fond de Teinte. Is it Fond de Teinte? Fond de Teinte. So this is the one in F16. I personally like this one more than the skin tint one, because this one just gives you a little bit coverage, and I feel like it wears better throughout the day. So this is the shade F16. Again, F16 claims to have like a warm undertone, and I think once again it retails between like £8 to £12. Big difference in terms of the amount of product you get, but if you are the type of person that you do like CC creams, BB creams, skin tint formulas, and you just want a little bit coverage, I will personally go for this one in comparison to that one. So yeah guys, that is pretty much it. We have finally come to the end. If you watched this entire video, thank you so much, because I know these videos are quite long-winded. Well, they're definitely long-winded to film, so I hope you guys really enjoyed it and it was useful. Once again, I will list everything in the description box below, any sort of relevant videos as well, and I will link things in the cards. Thank you so much for the love and support. Make sure you do subscribe on your way out. Make sure you give it a huge thumbs up. That will help me out a lot, and I would love to see you guys in my next video. Bye.